Hi everyone, hi, welcome for learning more about CSS. Hope you all are doing good. In this video, we're going to see something more about CSS. As you know, CSS is used for styling and beautifying web pages. So as we say styling and beautifying, the first word which comes into our mind is colors. So as you know, we have already seen that how to apply colors in CSS. So simply, as you can see, I've applied the color over here as red and a color to my paragraph as CSS. So what I've done is this is my HTML document, this is my H1 tag where I've written learning CSS, and this is my paragraph, and I've applied a external CSS. We've already seen external, internal, and inline CSS in our previous video. So here I've used external CSS where I've applied red color to my H1 element and green color to my paragraph element, as you can see, right? So this is a normal way of giving colors. Okay. Now quickly I'll show you how to give background color as well. Do you remember in HTML we used to give background color for a body, and how do we used to give it? By using BG color, right? So that was something attribute, right? That was an attribute used in HTML. Whereas here we have a separate property of background color in CSS, with the help of which you can give background color to your element, to your maybe your body, any element which you want, and so on. Okay, so for example, I give my uh, background color over here, and I give maybe a yellow. Let's see how does it looks. I've given only to H1 element, so it will be only applied for my H1 element, isn't it? Interesting. So according to your design, you can give only for your specific element. You can apply the background color by using CSS. So this is how we give background color in CSS. Now I want to tell you something important about this color is, like, many times it happens that in future when you'll be developing your own web pages, and there will be many things to do for you in designing, and that time you'll think that I don't want the usual colors which are there, but I want something to be unique, to be applied. And at that time you'll think of getting unique colors. So you can make unique colors, or you can make color combinations by your own. You can give different shades of colors in CSS, and that is by using the different ways of colors. So the another way of for giving color in in CSS is by using hexadecimal way of coloring in CSS. Now, what is this hexadecimal way of coloring in CSS? It is something like this. Okay, this is the hexadecimal way of coloring in CSS, and this has been divided into three parts. Okay, the first part stands for red color. The second part, this is means the next two digits stand for green color, and the last two digits is the third part, which stands for blue color. So it is in the format of RGB. Okay, and you may be seeing that I have written FFFF. So what is this? As the name suggests, hexadecimal. So hexadecimal numbering system we are using over here. So hexadecimal starts from 0 to 15, right? And after 9 we actually define it as A, B, C, D, E, F, right? So F is 15 over here. F represents 15, and 0 in the scale of hexadecimal is the minimal color, or you can say the very lightest version of the color which you're going to use. That means if this is my red color, this first part is red, as I told you, right? So if I'm writing over here 0 0 instead of F, that means there will be no red color, or there will be very lighter version of red color if I'm writing 1 1 or a little more value than that. Okay, so this is the 0 is the lightest version in the scale, and F, that means 15, is the darkest version of your color, or darkest shade of your color you will be seeing. Okay, so I'll just quickly tell you with an example. For example, I've written 00FFFF. Now you can see that I told you that the first part is red, the next two digits are green, and then blue. For example, I just want green color for my H1 element, and I don't want blue or red. So what I can do is I can simply go and write 00 here as well. So what does this indicate is your red color will be 0, means the density of red color, or the shade of red color will be nowhere. Okay, similarly for blue, because this part is blue, and only green will be there. Okay, and if I just go save it and if I run it, now it is red, right? And if I refresh it, here we go, it turns to green, right? Now you may be saying that we can already give it by something doing like this, right? Straight away by giving green to the color at property of CSS. Then why to use hexadecimal? So as I told you just some time before, that if you want to create shades of color and if you want to give your unique colors by creating your own colors, then we can use this. So in this case, for example, I don't want green and I don't want blue, but I want something in between blue and green, a different shade by mixing blue and green color. And what I can do is I can give whatever values I want over here to make my colors. For example, for now, I just give FF over here. That means 15 for the highest value for blue and the highest value for green as well. And what will happen now? Only red will be not there, but blue is also green is also there and blue is also there. So it's going to create some sort of shade from blue and green. So let's check it out. How it is going to look. Here we go. Right? So this is something different from blue and green, a mixture of blue and green, right? So this was straight away FFFF, so it has created this color. But instead of this, you can write any number over here according to you, and you will get many different shades of colors. Okay, for example, instead of maybe FF, instead of green, I'll give FF to red and I'll make green as 0, and let's see now what colors it turns into. Here we go, it turns into purple color, right? So this is how you can create your own shades by mixing this red, green and blue together in hexadecimal way of coloring, right? Okay, it might sound a little difficult for you right now, but when you will be practicing it, it will be more clear. And besides this, there's another way with the help of which you can again create color combinations and shades of colors, and that is called as RGB way of coloring. Now, what is this RGB way of coloring? It's very much similar to hexadecimal way. That means here also we are dividing the means the colors in 3 parts. Okay, so how do we define it? We define it by writing RGB and then following by brackets, and inside brackets we write, it's divided into 3 parts. So the first part is red color again, second part is green color, and the third part is blue color. Okay, so now you'll say that since it is same like hexadecimal, then why to use RGB, or why to use hexadecimal? We can use only one of them, right? So yeah, the only difference between them is that in RGB you can give directly decimal numbers instead of remembering this hexadecimal numbers 0 to F and how do we give and all those stuff. Okay, so this we find a little difficult about when we see hexadecimal. However, RGB is quite easy, right? So we can straight away give 0 to 255, any number between 0 to 255, and it will create your shades of color. Okay, so same like this, 0 means will be the very lightest version of your color, and 255 will be the highest or the darkest density. It will give the darkest of your color. Okay, so 255 here means my red color is going to be in its dark format. Okay, and 00 here means there will be no green and there will be no blue colors. If I quickly go and if I see what will happen is here we go, it was background color, right? So my background color has changed to red. So from this you understood that this format can be applied to color as well as background color. Okay, there's no limitation that it should be only applied for your element color, but it can be also applied to the background color. Okay, so it has turned to 255 now. For example, I give 255 here as well to my green color. So now there will be something of some sort of shade of red and green color. Okay, so let's see what it will be. What do you think? What it will be? Yes, again, it's yellow color. It will be yellow, red and green. Okay, so this is another way of giving colors in CSS. There is one more way with the help of which you can define the colors. Okay, and that way is called HSL. Now, what is this HSL? HSL is hue, saturation, lightness. Okay, and it is, again, I can say it's similar to RGB or hexadecimal, because here there are no colors divided into three parts. Okay, as we have in RGB and hexadecimal, we are dividing the colors in three parts, RGB. Here it's not like that. You only have one part. Here also we are having three parts inside HSL. Okay, but the three parts are not compromising of colors. There is only one single part where you have to put the color, and the other two part is it is showing your saturation level and your lightness level. Okay, so I'll just quickly show you how. So HSL here, it is also divided into three parts, but it is not color parts. Okay, so the first part is only the color part. So hue means the degree level of degree. Okay, it is 0 to 360. They have given degrees from 0 to 360, and this hue is nothing but representing your color. So that means 0 and 360 degree. If you give 0 and 360, that color will be red. Okay, and the numbers around 0, maybe from 0 to 50 or something like that, and from if it is 360, then from 360 to 300 or something like that will be, shades of red, because 360 and 0 is red. Okay, similarly they're telling when you're writing 120 degree, that means green color. So the numbers are revolving around 120, that is maybe 130, 140, 155, or you can say 110, 109, 108. So these colors are going to be some sort of shades of green, right? Are you getting? And similarly, they're telling that 240 degrees is going to be for blue. So the numbers around 240 are going to be shades of blue, right? Got it? So the first part is for colors, and they are written, or they are represented by degrees. So I'm giving right now 240 degree, and we don't have to write degree over here. We can write 240. Okay. Next part in HSL is saturation. What do you mean by saturation? Saturation means again the density of color. You can see how much bright the color is going to be. So it is defined in percentage. Okay. So if there is 0%, 0 means the very less saturation of color. So there will be very light version or no brightness in the color, and the 100% means the whole full dark color you're going to get. Okay, so if I'm writing 100 over here, I have to write percentage over here. Okay, that means you will get the darkest of blue color. I told you that 250 stands for blue. And lightness means, again, it's similar to, it also tells you about the density of the color, the lightness of the color, but over here it is just opposite to what we saw in the saturation. If it is 0% of lightness, that means there will be full lightness. Sorry, there will be no lightness. If it is 0% of lightness, means there will be no lightness. And if you're giving 100% for lightness, that means there is whole sort of lightness only, right? Means the color is going to be in its lighter shade, and when you're writing 0, the color is going to be in the darker shade. This is simply for lightness, so it's just opposite to saturation. So I'm giving right now 50%. Okay, so let's see how does our color looks like. Okay, so I've applied it for paragraph element, and we'll go and see. Here we go. So it has turned to blue, and since we have given saturation as 100, so it has taken its darkest form, and I have given lightness as 50. Okay, so this is called as hue, saturation, and lightness, which is another form of giving colors in CSS.